to have a relationship with anyone you want, as long as it's not because of the color of their skin. So I guess that is really the crux of what we're going to be talking about. But with that being said, guys, we're so glad you're here. And as always, whether you're blood of my blood, sister from another father, brother from another mother, let's unify and get into a lot. King Louis,
Hello?
yes, you want to start the conversation? I'd like today to get into interracial dating, and my opinion on it is that it's more prevalent. Black men dating white women because they feel like they have arrived once they have a white woman on their own. If I'm wrong, correct me. We can agree to disagree, but I'd like to have this conversation.
Correct. We've had this conversation before, and no, I don't think you're wrong in every case. Like I said, in a lot of cases, people of color have been raised to think they're less than, so they have the opportunity to get someone who looks like the way society say they should look. They gravitate towards that. It makes them feel better, like you say, feel like they have arrived. In some cases, like me, when I was younger, I didn't care, and I was raised around mostly white people. So you gonna date who you're around, and I wouldn't mind it so much today. It's just my only issue with it is most white people don't understand what I go through as a black man. So I don't see how she could support me the way I need support at this point in my life if she's not a black woman. I've ran into a few white women who understand, but 90% of the time they don't. So you're going to be without a partner when it comes to that part of your life as a black man.
So what you're saying is, um, let's just give a hypothetical here. If you're having a really bad day and you've encountered some real racist type, I was going to say, you know,
Right.
okay, what what you're trying to convey is that she may not understand the depth of that hurt or anger that you're feeling. She just sees it as aggression and you're an angry black man, but she doesn't know that this goes to the core of your blackness. Is that what basically what that's what
Yeah,
you're trying?
I'll give you a personal example. I went to this church, and this one deacon that's been there for 20 some odd years, everyone knows him, and he's kind to them, but he doesn't like black people. So when I went and started going to the church, he wouldn't open the door for me. He'll open the door for somebody in front of me. I'll be 5 paces behind. He'll let the door slam in my face and walk away like he didn't see me. And he would do this all the time. So when I tried to tell someone, hey, such and such, he's got an attitude, don't he? They didn't understand what I was talking about. I was like, no, he's a wonderful man of God. But to me, he was rolling his eyes and, looking at me funny. But he was sweet and kind to them. He was a Christian to them. But to me, he was very ugly. So it's hard for me to explain to a white person racism when they are not affected by it, because that very same racist is kind to them. They don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But black people get it because we deal with people who are sweet to everybody but us at work.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I won't disagree with you on that. But don't you think if you are with someone because they're white, it's a form of self-hatred? You've got, on some level, you've got to have some disdain for who you are. If that person makes you feel like you're more than, or that person, you perceive that person to be more than you, I don't even see how you can get comfortable with that concept.
Right. but white supremacy, and as me and you understand it, it is a weapon. When you grow up seeing every character white, whether it's Jesus or what's that lady that from Africa, what's her name? She was Egyptian, and I always made movies about her.
Cleopatra.
Cleopatra.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, when every character is whitewashed, you will accept white supremacy. That okay, every great person in history or every creation that was stolen from Africans that's never told, you actually got to go research that on your own.
Yeah.
You can buy into it subconsciously and not realize that you're buying into racism until somebody wakes you up or lets you know what you're doing is wrong. So a lot of these guys don't know that they're growing up learning to hate their very own skin.
So, in other words, it's a lifelong subliminal message, and you may not even recognize it yourself.
Until it's too late, and then you have this disdain and hate for being black because it's been shown to you as something negative. That's why I hate, like I have a love-hate relationship with hip-hop. I love it, but I hate it because it shows a lot of negativity.
With what?
And to me,
with what?
I said I love with hip-hop.
Oh, hip-hop.
It's a love-hate relationship because there's a lot of negativity, but to me, it's just entertainment. But to the world, is see how these people act, they're violent. Or even gangster movies. To me, it's entertainment. I know most black people are not gangsters, hard-working Americans. But to white supremacy, it's used as a weapon. See how they act? Look at this movie right here.
But they know, but they know the truth because they act, if not as bad, worse. But it's not seen as worse because we're talking about Bonnie and Clyde, Al Capone, Babyface Nelson. Yeah, I mean all of these were straight killers and didn't care who they killed. Okay.
Right. So what I'm saying, you can watch a movie like that or Rambo, but the narrative is not pushed on. Look, these people are killers. Look at this violent movie. But when it comes to us, all they want to show most of the time is violent movies or us being in some type of position of servitude.
That's true.
When we really come from kings and queens, they don't make movies about that.
Well, and you know what? Now, thinking back to watching the Gladiator movies, I love those Gladiator movies, right? And still do. But you know what? I never equated Cleopatra with being black until I was an adult. Nobody ever said to me Cleopatra was black. Because
I know, so I was grown.
Yeah, you had Elizabeth Taylor playing her, and various other people, but none of them were black. So I assumed she was white. They don't tell you that.
These black Egyptians. Like, wait a minute, somebody's lying here. And you don't learn who's lying until you get grown. So in school, you're indoctrinated until you get grown, and then most grown people don't do any more research after that because you're off on your career. You're not going to do any more research.
Right, and they don't tell you.
No, in school, you research the literature they give you. They give you what to research. They give you the books with the answers in it.
Wow.
And even growing up in my day, we had computers, but it wasn't like this. So we mostly still read books, You got your information out of books, but you got your information out of books that they gave you.
Wow. And, I don't care who you date. It could be the little green man from Mars. If that's your thing, you do you. But you do not date a person because you think they're more than you are or better than you are. That right there. Or if I have you on my arm, this takes me to this level rather than this level. Do you understand? And it's just, to me, it's very degrading for me to think of anybody as being more than Denise. You may have more money, you may have more status, but as a human being, there's no one that's above me. No one.
Right. I understand that. And I would love to find African women. I'm not opposed to different women, but we would have to have a lot of conversations because I'm all about supporting my people and telling the truth. And I find that a lot of Caucasian people that have been in my life, they can't deal with real history because it shows the ugliness. And they like the brainwashing. So we have clashes because I'm bringing you real history. This is what really happened. This is what's still happening. It's not like it stopped because if it stopped, it'd be different.
Now,
it's still happening.
Now, don't you think a lot of them, like you hit it, you hit the nail on the head. A lot of them can't deal with the brainwashing, but don't you think it would be kind of difficult if you was this monstrous person or your ancestors and your lineage showed that, from the beginning of time, you was just these horrible people up to, the present day. And it's still right, and it's still going. So, as a person that wasn't like that, yeah, I can see where that may be a hard pill to swallow. But if you're going to date interracially, you have to open your mind to what is really happening here and what the agenda is, what they're trying to accomplish with the things that they put out, just like the Martin Luther King um, discussion we had just had, and the blog that I'm going to release today on that. They're trying to tear down him because he was such a large figure. He was larger than life almost, and he could gather the masses, right? So they don't want us to have somebody like that because then that's showing that, oh, you know what? The narrative that we have pushed all this time is not true. You do have people of color that are great people. See? So they have to make sure they tear down anybody that we may look up to. And when I say look up to, I don't mean on God's level because there's nobody higher than him. Let's always be clear about that. But everybody has mentors and people that they admire and that they aspire to be. I want to be in this place, and they act like they're doing us a favor or they've done us a favor all these years. That's the problem. I think the root of the problem is they push the narrative that they've done us a favor by bringing us here to America to build this country for free.
Right.
I mean, it's that simple, correct?
Right. Whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, Malcolm X loved black people. So you're automatically the enemy. And if you're a black Christian, you have no allies. Because the white church is not sticking up for us. They're not doing it. And they're not going to do it.
That's right.
Because it means more to them to be white than it does to be Christian. And that's what most black Christians are understanding. See, we approach with the love of God. So we say we don't care. We want to represent the Lord.
Right.
They'll represent, you'll hear a conservative Christian. What is a conservative Christian? Either you in or you're not in. Mm-hmm. You either roll with Jesus or you don't. There's no conservative Christians.
Okay.
You're either a Christian or you're not.
Right.
Okay. But they say this so they let you know that we kind of Christian, but don't forget we conservatives.
Yeah.
Well, I've never said I was and I don't have a party, but if I did, I would never say I'm a Republican Christian or a Democrat Christian. Either you're a Christian or you're not.
Well, that's like Mike Pence. He spouts that he's this, devout Christian of what? I mean, if you can rock with Donald Trump and you have not agreed with him on one point every time you come out and say the president is correct, then, I mean, you're a Christian of what? because
Right.
the God that I know, the God that we serve, he can't rock with what you guys are doing. He can't go along with that. He's not going to go along with mistreatment of his people, regardless of your nationality, regardless of your walk, regardless of what you've done in life, because he's judge and jury. Yes, we have to live by the law of the land, but we also have to know that God is the one that's in charge. He's the one that's going to administer the ultimate consequence for our action,
Correct.
not you. And so the things
Well,
we do as humans is just off the chain. But go ahead.
yeah. The Bible tells us not to be a false witness. And I believe your president, Donald Trump, took out, he spent $85,000 to falsely accuse 5 young men of a rape that they did not commit, and he did not apologize for it. So that right there takes you right on out of the Christian area. So I don't know what area you want to put Donald Trump in, but he falsely accused not one person, but 5 children of a crime that they did commit.
Right.
It's still yet won't apologize for.
Okay.
You ruined 5 lives, 5 families, American families.
Well, see, that there you go. They don't see you as an American. You came over here
Not at all.
as a slave, so we were less than human, and to a lot of them we still are.
Still are.
That's the problem.
Still are. That's why it's okay for them to see on tape a child being shot and murdered, and they feel nothing.
Right. Okay.
They feel nothing.
Right. So Donald Trump also said the other day, someone asked him about that Central Park 5, and he said, well, the prosecutor said they should have never been compensated for that because they still believe that they were involved. What? He said that. Look, I have him on tape saying those very words.
It's ridiculous.
Can you believe that? So after all the atrocities these kids been through, now, I mean, they're adults. You grew up in prison, and the DNA have exonerated you, but the DA is saying, well, at least that's what Donald Trump said. The DA said, they shouldn't. They should have never been. They should have never settled that case because they still believe that they were involved. But that's because you don't want to admit a wrong that you have committed for so long. You want to hold on to that. And that's another thing about, and we've gotten off the dating. We kind of got off track here. But
we'll get back on it.
Wait a minute. Yeah, but that what I'm getting ready to say, though, ties into that. So those are like the scenarios. If you're married to a white woman, you may not be able to convey to her what actually happened. She knows that something happened that was wrong. She knows that, oh wow, I feel really sorry for them. But you don't understand how this is happening to us in record numbers. Numbers. And nobody is doing a damn thing about it. We are, what, 90% of the penal system they're black. It's black free labor all over again. White people don't even get the same sentence.
No, we get double the time after time. And if anyone don't believe what we're saying, you can look it up yourself.
Right. So but I'm saying, how can that woman relate? She's not really going to be able to get
she's not
the full understanding of what you went through and how that would make you feel. Okay, when those guys they're out now. I couldn't blame them if they had some animosity. Of course, you're supposed to try and forgive. Well, actually, you're supposed to forgive, but you can never forget what has happened to you. You can never forget that. I mean, and they have to live with that. They have to live with the atrocities that was, thrusted upon them in prison. God only knows what people did to them when they were younger.
Well, one of the boys was beat up and raped at, I think he was 15, 16 years old.
Right. So do you see what I mean?
While the guard watched.
That's
How do
horrible.
you repay that?
That's
So someone's innocent
you
now.
can't.
Boy didn't do anything.
You can't. You can't. There's no I don't care how many there's no amount of money. No amount of money.
No.
And
How you sleep at night?
right.
It bothers me, and it didn't happen to me.
And
Just
then
thinking about it, I'm nervous.
right, right. And who was the white female that got paid the $55 million for being touched by a black man or a boob or something? I don't know.
She recorded or something.
Yeah.
But they had spent what 40
million amongst them,
40
and
million,
you've taken 14, 15 years of my life that I can never get back. I've been abused, beat up, mistreated, and locked away like an animal for something that I had nothing to do with. And the girl
as a child.
Yeah, but the girl took one. She still don't know it wasn't them. Well, you don't know it was them. If that the other man DNA was found on you, the other man admitted that he did it. Why do you insist that these kids did it? And there's no what? So they did it. What, in plastic suits? There was no DNA. Their DNA was nowhere to be found.
They didn't even know each other. They didn't know each other. They locked these kids in a room for 24 hours and beat on them. Let me lock the kid in a room with me. Let me beat on him. I can get him to say anything.
This is but that's the atrocity. If you, like I said, if you're a counterpart now, and you could be with a white man. If you're a black woman with a white man, I would feel some kind of way about that because that's my black brother that this has been done to. So, as a white man, can you understand? Can you totally understand what it is I'm feeling today? And I don't think that they can. That would be my problem. I don't think they could really, because see, they don't go through it on a daily basis. You're not only pulling from what happened to them, you're pulling from what happens to so many of us over and over and over again. Okay?
Right. The same cop that will help you change your tire will pull a gun on me for walking home.
Right. Right. So
and that's what we can't get a lot of people to understand.
Right. Right. So it is definitely a different scenario. I don't know. So going back to the relationship part of it, I'm assuming that's why you said it. You have been in interracial relationship. I was in one in my lifetime. So you know a little more about it. Well, in things that you could encounter because I was young and I really didn't give a damn. But as you get older, you start looking at what really matters to you, and
Right.
that person is going to have to be able to fit into that, and vice versa. You're going to have to be able to fit into their life. So
Right.
you need to, really take an assessment of, can this be done? And it can't be about money. Now, those athletes, what they need to me, I would think you'd be more concerned about, do you want me for my money or do you want me for me?
Well,
I would be.
Money. Of course, it's about the money, and then being chocolate is just icing on the cake.
Right.
Because it's a taboo thing. My only deal is like I said, we would have to have deep discussions about racism because I don't want to be in a relationship again to where I can't speak to someone who understands my plight. Or because this man might be sweet to you, can't understand why he's nasty to me.
Right. Now tell me again, you said a young lady said to you about, I guess, I don't know, we were talking yesterday about interracial dating, and she said something to you. I guess it was about I don't know. She understood, but she don't understand. Well, she didn't understand your anger, but you lost one friend because she thought you were just a radical black.
Right. Right.
So, see, I don't get that. I mean, maybe because it doesn't happen to them, they don't understand why you would be radical. So then,
Well,
how would you live your? Go ahead.
Police are allowed to use words that we can't use. If they accidentally shoot someone, their gun discharged. So you gotta look at the language that's used when they abuse their right or they're negligent. If I shoot you and I'm negligent, it's called manslaughter. See, I don't get to use those cute words like my gun discharged.
Or I saw you reaching for a gun, and then in fact,
it was a wallet.
Yeah, there's no gun there.
Because I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
There's no they don't go to court to see if they should press charges. No, they go to court to decide who my attorney's gonna be, who the jury's gonna be. But when cops kill you, they go to court to see if they should press charges first. I don't get that. See, they have the right and a badge to kill you. That's what that is. So they're supposed to be peace officers. There's no peace when it comes to a killer cop. There's a thug with a badge, but they don't see them that way.
So you're saying they take them to court to determine whether or not
if they did wrong, press charges or not.
Whether that should really come in the investigation stage, and then you press charges and go to court to defend yourself. But you shouldn't go to court to decide whether or not I should press charges.
Who can I shoot with a cell phone in their hand and go home? Who?
No one. No one. Absolutely, positively no one.
Even if you have a gun, I still have a good chance of going to jail. So, it's ridiculous. But because they're killing people of color, most of American society don't really care.
But then how do you say, I'm not prejudiced, I'm not. But yes, you are. You are. Stop kidding yourself. Tell yourself the truth. And we could at least get to the next level in this conversation. We'll never get there as long as you keep, pretending like you're not prejudiced.
That takes guts. And most prejudiced people. See, a lot of prejudiced people are passive. They're not active, but they're not going to do anything to help you neither. So they're just going to watch and ignore you. This is dangerous.
That's
They're not, and that's the problem. Most of them are not active racism. They're just passive racism. They're just not going to do anything to help you.
Wow.
They know you're struggling. They know they don't want to beat you.
Wow.
They're just going to ignore you.
Wow. Well, okay. Well,
it's almost like, how would you feel if, let's say, you had a 6-year-old daughter, and I was sitting on the park bench, and I just watched somebody drag her away and didn't call nobody, didn't say nothing, didn't do nothing. You would think of me as a bad person, wouldn't you?
Well, absolutely.
Even if I'm not the one who's doing it, but I didn't do anything to help. And that's how most people are in America. They see a problem, they know it's a problem, but since I'm not the one getting drug away, it's not my daughter, I'm just going to sit here on this bench and continue to eat my popcorn.
No, is that? You getting a lot of notifications there, Lewis?
No, that wasn't me. I heard it, but it wasn't me.
I turned off all.
We telling too much truth on here. They're going to shut us down.
Yeah, I see. Because that's my phone is not even showing any. I turned off all my notifications.
Oh, yeah. It's not me.
Wow.
We're next.
Wow.
We told too much truth.
Well,
Jesus told truth. Martin Luther King told too much truth. See what happened to them.
Well, hey. I mean,
Malcolm X told too much truth.
If we're going to keep it real.